Here we go.
I'm Lekalia, and you're listening to the Never Surrender podcast by the Squinters.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
15 seconds. Oh, come on. Yes! Come forward!
Never surrender. Oh, I see what you're talking about.
I enjoyed it too.
I remember his mum said if you're going to do it properly.
Okay, boys, with me. Easy. Come on, Ragnar. Easy. Come on, Sparrow. I can't hear you. Easy. 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 Yeah, we did. That's what we did. We just wandered down to Carlton and we took them to the fucking cleaners. Hard game. We stood up. Anyway, there's so much to talk about.
Finals, baby.
I've got a Needles niggle about how when I get elected, whoever puts Tony Bedford behind bars, I swear to God, I am coming for them, and I will. God is my witness, and I'm not religious, but there will be retribution. That's just a warning. It might happen next year. It might happen in 15 years' time, but it will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Never Surrender by the Squinters. This is a very up, poppy, and preppy Never Surrender by the Squinters. My name is Needles. I am coming to you out of the black ether. I can see Sparrow on the screen. I can see Ragnar on the screen, but I can't see myself. Well, I can only see my photo of myself at my brother's 30th birthday when that was at least 12 years ago, and I was doing very dapper, sort of Johnny Depp style beard moustache piece. This is awesome.
This is not about you, Needles. This is about finals, baby.
Finals. Rounds. G'day, Sparrow. How are you, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm good. And this is about our glorious triumph over the Blues against all odds. No Sammy Taylor, no worries. And yeah, mate, I'm pumped to be here. Very pumped to be here. Can't wait to launch into a full ranging discussion of the game that
mutual
was.
backslapping, patting each other back, sneaky reach around, pat each other in the ass. Well done, boys. Hey, Rags. Glad they played the kids.
Aren't they? And
Names in the kids.
I'm pretty sure I was the only one who tipped us, wasn't I?
Bullshit. No.
It's bullshit.
I did say.
Sparrow, click that, please. I think it was season 12 when old mate the bard comes on. He's like, "Oh, I don't care. We'll just do it. We've got 3 goals, 3 wins, 10. It's fine."
I will insert what I said last week at that point.
I just want to say, well, actually, there's a couple. One, congratulations, gentlemen. That conversation that you had with Lekalia, I just, as I described to you, I had a shit-eating grin from ear to ear as I listened to that.
Good man.
Sparrow, your structured and not very freestyle introductions would put a professional to shame. The way you went on and on and on.
But you can learn a few things.
That guy's a total legend. I love how the fact he doesn't respect anyone else on the team for their basketball. I'm disappointed you didn't ask him how to injure a toe or what the Aussie rules scene's like in Juba in South Sudan, but otherwise,
or even Kenya.
He's gone straight to the top 5 of the favourites, and I think you have to start every pod from now on until we get a new one with I'm Lekalia and welcome to Never Surrender by the Squinters, because that's just the best. He's just on the best. Point.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Congratulations, chaps.
No, we loved it. More to come.
there was a bit, and I have a quote from my good not friend. Oh, actually, we'll get to the game. Titus O'Reilly, who's going to discuss the game. So I don't have the WhatsApp with your running sheet on in front. So hey, what's on the running sheet? What are the issues of the week? First quarter.
Yeah, you want to launch right in? Well, well, first things first, and I've been digging once again. I've been scratching around the dark recesses of the internet trying to find this fucking interview with Sammy Taylor. But whether it existed or not, Taylor's prophecy has been fulfuled. We are into the finals.
It existed. That's how you do it. Like it doesn't. Every truth is relative.
I was that close.
Not my reality.
I was that close to writing to Zelly and saying, look, surely in your file somewhere you've got this interview. Anyway, whether it happened or not.
Sparrow, like last week, for the first time in my life being a cis white male, I got gaslit at work. But you might be the first person ever to have gaslit themselves. You're questioning your own reality.
Yeah.
What's my narrative? Because of the past.
No, the truth is he did say it, and we'll run with that. So we're loading up the Tanami road train, and it's a finals campaign on the road, which is how we, of
what
course,
is the Tamani road train?
Mate, you just need to go back to the Northern Territory episode and or game and have a look behind the goals there. Tanami Transport. Big road train that Ken has used to get the boys to the ground.
Yeah.
We're loading that up.
So weird why that reference didn't stick, but yeah, good point.
It was all his soliloquy.
Well, it works well with the Tsunami road train, which Jules on Twitter picked up on. I didn't at the time, but yeah, Tsunami road train. We're loading that up. We're doing the finals. Which is, as I said, how we like it. We like it on the road. Doesn't worry us one bit. I actually think the boys threw that last 5 minutes to get the game down at the MCG because we don't want a home final. We just want it tough. We want it wherever the AFL put us. So, it was looking like we could have had one, but wasn't to be.
I think that's because I sat down on the couch at that time.
Yes.
I was watching
Needles.
the game for the first quarter. And then I left to go and sort of help Mrs. Needles with dinner. And then because I want to keep winning sort of ACT Father of the Year for the 10th year in a row, I read books to the daughter for like hours, felt like. And then we came back in the third quarter and finished with 45 points up. And I was feeling, you beauty, home final. This is going to be amazing. Sat down, 2 goals to Carlton. Oh, well, fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Ladder.
But even still.
Pretty amazing finish to the season when you think about it. Like, comes down to the last, 5 minutes and that live ladder which Fox Footy was showing was pretty cool. Every goal that was suddenly St Kilda's home game and then ours, and that was good. Loved it.
Anyway,
very exciting.
The Tamami road train.
Can't believe we missed. This should have been an issue for last week, but Cogs 200.
Yeah, that's poor. I
not
think
really.
Ragnar specifically forgot to mention it. He'd written it down and then refused to mention it.
Yeah. On the
which is poor by you, Rags.
Very poor.
He was too busy writing songs.
Yeah, exactly.
So well played, Cogs.
Don't go for the really popular stuff. Focus on the real details.
Cogs 200.
What a superstar. I described him as Lazarus on the Squinners thread. Like that is somehow he was a phenomenal footballer. He had a terrible 2 or 3 years and the captaincy didn't work out for him. But what a resurrection. He's our All-Australian in the All-Australian squad, and deservedly so.
Yeah, absolutely. He's back to his best. 2019, that injury when he did his knee, well, it wasn't a full knee, obviously, but went down
in the grand final.
Went down in Melbourne and missed out, as you said, missed out on the grand final. Had some shocking years with following that with the captaincy under Leon, and I think Spike then moved him back into the midfield when Spike took over, and all of a sudden this, because he was playing down forward a lot more. And remember, he was trying to kick from both feet, and on the thread we were giving it to him, and all of a sudden Spike comes in, puts him back into the guts, and I think it was someone like remember Tom Bug, one of my favourite players for the Giants. He just said something like when Spike put him back in, it was like, yeah, that's
Tom Punchy Bug, isn't it?
Yeah.
Punch bug.
One of our great actually taggers up there with the Dutch clamp. He said, something like, fuck, about time he was back in the guts, because he was just so good when he was back in there, and he just hasn't stopped. I mean, he puts into, like, over the off season, he goes over to England and gets the best trainers over there to craft his body. Rags, you haven't spoken much yet.
Rags, I mean, how many words did you write calling for Cogs to be sacked off during his dark period? Thousands? Hundreds of thousands?
No, that's a lie. That is a lie.
I'm just asking you. I didn't say. I mean, if it's your truth.
I was merely calling for his left foot to be amputated, so he could never kick with it again.
Much more restrained.
Mm. No, well done to Cogs, who he's been a fantastic servant to our club, and he's really been a player who's brought the team together. Like, especially when we travel west into Perth, and the whole team goes and eats with his family. I'm pretty sure they did that in the early days. Right? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if they do that still, but
they did that with Tom Green's family in Canberra this year.
Also class.
Good idea. Maybe some Nonna's pasta.
Well, I don't know. I think it's chicken and rice. I think that's what they eat. That's just sort of about 1,000 chickens from Woolworths and just all the rice.
But there's a clip of Cogs and Toads in that Toby song. He's our skipper, where it's the game against Sydney, and the feeling between those blokes and that core originals in the team is just so tight.
Like, it must be extraordinary.
Fucking epic. Yeah, and you can see why the likes of Harry. I mean, you're not like, if you go chasing money, you're missing out on something which you just don't like. You live your life.
You miss out on the bit where 35 years down the track, like, you rock up and you're all out to dinner and just going, do you remember when? Wasn't that brilliant?
Yeah. Or you don't even have to say anything, and you've just got this shared moment. Almost, it's just, fuck, it's what life's all about.
Yeah. I've been loving the after the game photos of the newly minted 200 game player, and they're with the other 200 game players. So now we've got
so who is that? It's Cal
and Ward, Toby Green, Lockie Whitfield, Nick Haynes, and Stephen Cornelio.
That's sick.
So Chuck Kelly is only 5 games away.
What did Filthy get to?
193?
192.
Hey, about, just while we're talking games, Lloydie, you said he's got 2 more. You know what happens when you get to 100? Is you get your father-son.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple of little ones running around with probably a big thumping right boot.
But at the end of the game, they asked Cornelio sort of, they asked Toby Green, what was it like, Cornelio played 200 games. Oh, I'm so happy for him. He's one of my best mates, something. And they said, Cornelio, congratulations, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. And what did to see Toby go to work? He's one of my best mates. I'm really, really happy to, it's really good to see. It must be pretty special. But I think, of all those 200 gamers, Cornelio's had the heaviest ride, because it's not only the physical, it's the mental and the psychological. And it must have hurt to have the captaincy taken off, or to be found or decided that it's not for you. That's a big. That's a
talk of
deal with.
Yeah, talk of getting traded over to Freo at one stage, and I mean that might have only been the last
couple of years ago.
Maybe even last off season, and definitely the off season before that. But I mean, you're talking about, it's probably the biggest ride. I reckon Toby's is up there as well. I mean, he's had some funny moments.
But he's never had. Maybe.
Different ride.
He's always seems to be. It's going up. But well played, Cogs. You're a total champion, and you're in the All-Australian squad, which is my fresh link to. Hey, there's an All-Australian squad, and we've got Cornelio and 2 Greens.
Yeah, that's the next issue of the week, and I'll just preface this with something Michael might have said on the thread, which is a good wake up call for me, because I'll just let you in a little bit of my background here. I made the All-Australian university team for rugby, but you don't play any games.
That's 96, 93. When was that? What year? 89.
201. Anyway, if you don't play any games, it's fucking meaning. It doesn't mean anything. I'm back in Mount Michael's camp here. I think it's just a complete wank, the All-Australian squad. And so
I made the ACT Masters team of 2022, and I was the last person picked in an extended squad. And I think it's really important.
Did you play any games?
Yeah, not against anyone. It was picked on the player on the 5 goals I kicked in junk time in one game.
But so you don't play any games when you make that squad. Yeah, see, that's just ridiculous.
As Masters, you can have defibrillators at Masters games. We're not playing any more than we absolutely need to.
Yeah, so everyone gets worked up about this, and I'm happy to see. I really would love to see Tobes get the captain, so we can dump that video on a few more social feeds. Because every time we do that, we get a little spike in views. I see you doing that, Rags. I've started doing that. So I'm all for that. Definitely all for that. He'd be up around it.
Bontempelli he'd be close to being picked as well.
Yeah.
And Darcy, what's his face from Collingwood?
All solid options, absolutely. I've really loved Darcy Morris. I mean, the way he goes about that team, but some of his speeches have been epic. They're all amazing leaders. I mean, Bond, he just carries that team. Like, I was listening to Lee, is it Lee Montagna? On fucking that show they do on Sunday night. And he's just there's like first crack, yeah. He's just saying, Bonnie's out there coaching the team, also captaining the team, like he's barking instructions and getting the pill but all solid options. I wouldn't be surprised if any of them get it.
And with that though, Nick Larkey, who's sort of snuck up. He kicked 71 goals in a team that loses 20 times in a row, and a quad ordinary gets 9 in the last. But the fact is, he was playing for North Melbourne, who beat whoever they beat. Who'd they beat? West Coast? No, Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
It's the perennially disappointing Gold Coast with their new coach next year. That'll be interesting. But that means that the top 10 draft order now is locked.
Yes.
We get Richmond. What did Richmond come?
You are looking at the run sheet, aren't you? Because you must be looking at the run sheet, are you?
No, I've got it up now. We'll go back to my Titus O'Reilly.
This is seamless.
I'm just bringing that up. I'm a natural, but thank you.
Your segues are just like you're reading our minds.
Sparrow, my friend, it will get you everywhere. You just keep going. But yeah, to talk to me about it. What are the possible outcomes,
mate?
Because I pay no attention.
Well, Rags is going to come in with his angle here because he threw a spanner in the works. But Josh Martin, who's one of our solid followers on X, X Twitter. I've just got to pull that up. Sorry. But he was basically saying, look, let's trade both our first rounders. He's got a bit of a complex web going, but just bear with me. Rags, you jump in at any time here while I bring this up.
Well, you're going to explain your way through a real trade cardigan.
Here we go. Here he is. Okay, so he's saying
no. Let's hear Rags first because he is actually a squinter. So set the scene, eh? What's your take?
Well, my view is, there's apparently a top 6, right? So Richmond finished 6th last, so we essentially get the 6th best pick. That's not counting
for the benefit of the podcast. That was air quotes.
Yeah. So
Rabbities.
North Melbourne might get a compensation pick for Ben Mackay, which, I mean, if they get pick 2 or 3 for him, that's absolutely ridiculous. He in the open market, he wouldn't get a pick 15, I don't think. Anyway, so apparently there's six of that top echelon in the at the top of the draft, and so we obviously get the last one of that. So I think we just take the best available at that pick, which probably is looking like a Nate Caddy who's I think is a nephew or something of the caddy who's played for Richmond.
Gosh.
And
Geelong. The nephew.
Gold Coast.
He was playing like 10 years ago.
Not 10.
Oh,
Five.
All happens in rural Victoria.
And I think he might be cousin. So I vote we take him with our first pick, and then we trade our second pick, our second first rounder, which is tied to us, into next year. Because I don't see too many holes in our list, to be honest. We've got a young key forward, Cadman, who is developing. Our key backs, our whole back line is sorted. They're all pretty much under the age of 25. Our midfield is still very strong, and probably we could use maybe with a little bit of pace in our midfield, but we've got lots of small forwards that can go through there now. So I don't see too many issues with our team list, and I love death riding other teams.
Yeah, look, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we've got a plethora of issues to get through. But having said that, there has been a spreadsheet that that Joshua Martin has put on his tweet, and there's some snakes and ladders on it. But basically, he's saying let's trade both our first round picks. And North and West Coast are involved in these trades. I won't get into the details there, but we basically go up to pick 2, and with pick 2, we take that Tassie guy, McKercher, who's apparently a gun. I think he got best player. Best player, left footer, fairly big. And my call to Rags was, why get a Camry when you can get a Rolls Royce? Because I would like to see in our
Camry will work, and the Rolls Royce will look good and fall apart.
Disclaimer: I love my Camry. I drive one. Very reliable, cheap to service, no dramas at all.
Mate, my Suzuki Swift had its engine light on for 12 months. It's fine. I've sorted it. It's just like, I don't care. You care? I don't care.
I'm all for
and,
stuff. I'm all
and
for
if there's any Toyota. And if there's any Toyota dealerships that want to
on Parramatta Road,
want a little plug, hit us up.
Look, Homebush Toyota. Look, we're in your hitting zone. Fucking Capital Brewery. You're kidding me. Anyway, I'm all for it. McKercher, that sounds good. Let's get because let's face it, Wardy's probably got another season of good footy in him, and we're getting a little bit on the tooth in the guts, so I wouldn't mind seeing someone.
Right. We got Harry Rowson coming through as well, just remember.
Ooh, yeah, we do. No, good point. Good.
And cool. What's his face? Fuzzy, Fahey. He'll be an on-boarder.
Okay.
That's where he's played for most of his juniors.
I don't know. He's not that big. He's not a he's a whippet. He's a halfback / winger. So let's just draw a line there. I think great call, great spreadsheet. Love it. Keep feeding it in. Keep tagging us in your workings because we enjoy it. Next issue.
Workings. Well, someone did a song last week, and then someone made some comments about it.
Oh, fuck me, mate! They're not. It was.
Is this going to be the single?
It's a labour of love. Did enjoy putting it together. Yeah, great comments. Yeah, basically, look, it's out there. Share it, put it round, get it round. It's not on a couple of platforms at the moment. It's only on YouTube.
Do you want to tell them what we're talking about, mate?
Oh, sorry, the Jesse Hagen tribute. The
Rags and Sparrow collab.
Yeah. No. This is not my. No, this was full Rags. I did the video.
You did the vid, didn't you?
You did the video.
Yeah. We're a team here. All three of us. All three of us.
Yeah. No, your input was good, Needs. But yeah, no, it's a cracking song. I obviously tried to get it out as soon as possible on the back of his 9 goals. So yeah, it's going well. It's going well. But yeah, share it. It's on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Soon to be on Instagram and TikTok once I get that fucking format done. So stay tuned. It's fucking good. It's really good. Really, really good. Good stuff, Rags.
So what we've done there is spent 30 minutes to get through the first quarter, which is a proper time for the first quarter. We've now got 8 minutes to get through the next 3 quarters of our
That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Might have to go around again.
Yeah.
But this is the second quarter. This is where we actually get to talk about the game that happened. And also, we had a Squinter adjacent person at the game on the weekend, my cousin, who is a bit like all of us. He got into footy, never into footy, but moved to Melbourne, actually moved from Bellingen, sort of up in the Marijuana Valleys, west of Coffs Harbour. Yeah, gorgeous place. And
a high consciousness.
Sort of gradually getting into football, but as a two-fingered to all the Melbournes and fuck you, Victoria, he goes for the Giants. And he was at the game on the weekend, and he's given us a voice note. I haven't listened to it because the note he just came through. I don't know what he calls himself, so he's my cuz at the moment, and hopefully he's giving himself a sweet nom de plume.
We'll call him Benny.
But we'll put it in now.
GWS v Carlton at Marvel Stadium, and for a playoff no less. What more can you want as a GWS fan? Stoked to absolutely be able to see it, and we were seated right behind the goals, so we got to see a huge amount of the action. Stadium was absolutely packed. You could hear the crowd roaring the whole way through. I think the first 2 halves in particular made for really, really good watching. Neck and neck the whole way through, point for point, goal for goal. We even got to see Charlie Curnow take out the Coleman medal, which was obviously a massive win for Carlton. But as soon as that happened, you could see them take their foot off the grass. They stopped playing through Charlie. You could tell that they were just in injury prevention and looking to just make it through to the finals. Having said that, though, GWS absolutely capitalised. They had huge dominant pressure on the ball for all of their aggressive forward plays. I don't think Carlton really got to have more than a couple of seconds to get their disposals. And they were just playing too fast and too quick. Toby Green, going to work as per usual. You could see that Carlton didn't really want a bar of him, and just somehow managed to find the space every single time. I think my personal shout out, however, goes to number 27, Harry Himmelberg. As someone who loves to see a good bit of defense, he was an absolute wall. Sitting behind the goals, we got to see, him cutting them off every single time. They had so many openings, and every time Carlton, were going for a shot, he was just there to shut it down. Once it got to the third quarter, I think by that point Carlton were, they were done. GWS had just applied too much pressure. They were outpacing them. They were out-contesting every single mark, and the field just opened up for them. Great to see if you're a GWS supporter, so I was happy. But as the fourth quarter walked on and GWS managed to start racking them up, you could definitely see the Carlton supporters leaving to catch their train home before the match was, even 20 minutes from done. And by the end of it, what a game. Big Sound got its second time play, and we couldn't be happier.
Brilliant. Thanks, Cuz. But also, what I want to say is, and I'm just going to quote Titus O'Reilly, like Stone Cold Steve Austin crashing a Mike Tyson media conference, the Giants have stormed into the finals and in brutal fashion. Yes, sir. That was weaponized football. Played away, working really hard, withstood a pretty strong, but like Carlton should be a good team, although Bubs doesn't think that he thinks they're making up the numbers, which is an interesting take. Charlie got his 2. And it was only an hour that we found out that Sam Taylor wasn't playing, but Charlie got his Jack Buckley got back into the game, and we just did the business. I thought we'd lose. I said, I thought Carlton would right to be going to fight. Well, I've been wrong twice before in my life, and that's the third time. That was pretty hardcore. That was pretty hardcore, I have to say.
What we were looking forward to is these amazing matchups: Sammy Taylor and Charlie Curnow and Paddy Cripps and Tom Green. Both of them nullified, gone.
Squibs everywhere.
So no Cripps.
You'd hate to play the Giants in the finals. They're probably the true wild card in the pack. We're coming from 7. It's a long way back.
No, look, I think that was probably an even out. Them losing Cripper, us losing. Probably actually would have hurt us more losing.
Shit, yeah.
Taylor. Oh well, hang on. Cripper's pretty good, and he's the captain.
Yeah,
but
not in the All Australian, mind you, nice total.
I would put an asterisk on the win in that we had so much to play for. I mean, kicking the Bulldogs out of the finals, that is just so glorious. Like you would just put that in my veins, sort of thing.
It's almost better than us making the finals.
Yes.
The fact that they didn't make the finals.
Yeah, that's a grand final win. So that was amazing. That was just so good. And then, so once we had so much to play for, they obviously had to get Curnow over the line with the Coleman. But once it got too hard, they just crumbled, I thought anyway. Well, they put up a good fight, but fourth quarter we just smoked them.
Just another quick line before we move on. It's hard to know how Carlton will go in the finals. This is from Titus O'Reilly. It's not something you see that often. It's like sending a very experimental submarine into deep water.
That's fucking funny.
Do you really think they put the Q in the rack?
Yeah, Max? I do. Oh, sorry.
That doesn't matter.
Not until late in the third, early fourth quarter when they started putting their key players on the bench. Then they put the Q in the rack and they actually started playing better. So yeah, we just smashed them. We were so brutal. Our pressure, especially after maybe the first 10, 15 minutes, Carlton sort of had a good start. We missed a few early easy goals.
We did.
And that sort of continued throughout the game. We still missed a lot of shots. I think Toby Green kicked 4 goals too, but I reckon he kicked.
He hit
2
the
out
post with one.
2 out in the full and
at the end there.
Yeah.
Hey, how about Ricker's goal? Fuck, that was good. That was a good run of goals after that. That was I felt a bit of a tipping point. He was
Ryan Angwin
from the goal line.
No, was there one in the last quarter where he managed to almost miss the ball and even the whole entire stadium, as far as I could tell from the way he hit that.
Who's that?
Ryan Angwin. I'm pretty sure he had a shot in the last quarter.
Yeah, I really liked Ryan Angwin's game. Actually, he did some solid things and he sits under the ball. He's a skinny fella, but yeah, he's very brave. I really rate him as a player. What else do we have to cover off in this game? Jacob Wiedering eye gouging Toby Green.
Fucking oath. Let's have a react. Squinners reacts to firstly that. Secondly, have we got a fucking result on this charge of Bedford yet? What the fuck is going on there? Honestly,
he'll get off,
mate. How about that final where Cochin knocks out Dylan Shield leading him with the shoulder, gets into the grand final, and you get something like Bedford doing a block, hitting, not even hitting him high, hit him in the throat. Bloke goes down like a fucking tissue, sack of spuds.
A tissue. No, a tissue's good. Yeah,
like a tissue, and you lose a week. Just fucking. You got to be kidding me. Like, if you want to turn into rugby where everyone gets sent off and...
Yeah.
Needles, I can't take you seriously with that fucking avatar. Because it's... Well done, Zoom. Well done, Zoom. It's fucking good. Oh, shit. Let's get this back on track.
Well, see, this is the thing, right? So the camera's not working, but the video is hearing my voice and making the cow that I've used as my avatar talk. This is brown shirt cow, which is good. I feel it fits me.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, so where were we? Oh, yeah. You had your hat on backwards, Sparrow,
and you were
having a stroke.
Mate, look, if Bedford misses for that fucking glance on old mate, I will possibly stop watching. Pitchforks, maybe even quit the pod, quit football, quit sport, and go on sew or something. Have a podcast about sewing and knitting.
Move to Bhutan, the country of happiness.
Exactly.
Try and get your shit back together.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fucked. Have we got a result yet?
I don't think
it's
so.
supposed to be coming out tonight.
Yeah, they going tonight or is it tomorrow?
I reckon it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Snooze didn't text me. I'm waiting for him to send me a message, but he hasn't got it.
I mean, it's a big out if we fucking don't have him. Jesus, he was good. He just brings so much.
I don't mind Xavier Expo. What's his face back in? He'd be all right. He'd go fine.
For sure.
But yeah, very impressive. And then, Wiedering, play around with his eye. No, you're fine. Don't worry about it because your name's not Toby Green.
Fuck me. That is, come on. Get some. I mean, to be fair, he would have been very unlucky to miss a game for that, because as soon as he's sort of knew where his finger was, he pulled it away.
Yeah, he didn't let it dwell there, unlike other captains of other football teams.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty relaxed about that. But the Bedford one, come on, fuck me dead. It was like the AFL were playing a joke on us. Like, everyone's going, "Oh, Wiedering might miss a game." No one knew a thing about this Bedford, and then all of a sudden, Wiedering's fine, but Toby Bedford on the other hand,
who was actually playing football.
Yeah,
because Toby Green came off after that with a bleeding head. It's hard to get someone's head bleeding when you're not actually elbowing anyway. But that you actually all hail Stormy, which I like, because there was a bit in the first quarter where one of the commentators was saying he's the 5th best forward in the comp or something like that, or a few stats. But goddamn, the kid, is he a kid? I don't know. He's not a kid, but he's a good footballer.
Brent Daniels is 24 years and 5 months old. But that game there, I posted on Twitter somewhere. That was the best small forward game. Like, Toby Green's not really a small forward. That was the most complete small forward game I've seen all year. That was incredible what he put together. His tackling pressure, what he did with the ball, he just broke him open. He spent some time through the midfield. He was absolutely epic, Stormy Daniels.
By how many factors of 10 was it better than Nick Dacos's best game?
Dacos would need to have 75 possessions to live up to Stormy Daniels' 24.
It's a lot of possessions.
Yeah, and I think someone mentioned it on maybe it was our chat, talking about Bobby Hill. Like, we have been starved of this type of game since forever, basically. This small forward pressure. I mean, the likes of Bobby Hill, he did nothing with us. Nothing. There was none of that. He'd do an awesome specky, but we have not had small forward pressure in our game, and to all of a sudden be the likes of Stormy, the likes of X when he's playing, the likes of Snooze. It is so good to watch.
Well, actually, though, I'm just looking at the thread now. Coco sort of tends to agree with you, Sparrow. He said his little theory was that Kingsley pumped the brakes in the last quarter and ensure we didn't get in front of the Saints. We played better on the road. Smart move.
I've got more on that to come.
So do it now.
In the fourth quarter.
Right. Don't spoil us all now. Yeah, no,
fair enough. That is of all the teasers.
But so I actually watched the game at a different establishment this week because
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah,
one of the great scandals of Hobart entertainment.
The reverse bake.
I said, nah, fuck it, I'm not going there again.
So you went to Launceston. That will get right up everyone in Hobart's nose. Just say that's what you did.
I took my new workmate, who is now a Giants fan, from Charlottesville, North Carolina.
Testify.
And, fuck yeah. The Panthers.
And he's now a Giants fan, so shout out to Cam. But he wanted to go to the casino, so we went to the casino. I was like, surely they've got some TVs to watch some sport on. So we went to the casino, watched some sport. He lost some money. I won my dinner. Happy days. Giants win. And there was a few cut.
Mind you, at the moment, the way that the Aussie dollar is, it might have been $100 and he was only 10. Like, it wouldn't have been a big loss for him.
Yeah, and there was a bloody Carlton supporter there, and we were cheering on the Giants. And he turns around and goes, "Fancy there being a Giant supporter in Hobart." I'm like, mate, you go for Carlton.
We're everywhere, mate. We're everywhere.
And you whack him? Just one on the nose.
But a few other players to mention here. I thought Buckley had a great game after probably the first 10, 15 minutes when Kerno kicked a couple of cheap ones.
Didn't he play well?
Yeah. Toby Green smashed it as always.
He's
Green.
He's played every game this season, which is not a bad return from an ACL.
Yeah.
How about the support but from Harry and
so I love Callum Brown and I love Leclerc and I love Tony Bedford. They're all, and I've got a lot of favourites, but I just have to say that Connor Iden is
El President.
My favourite player. He doesn't make a mistake. He's always in the right place. He hasn't kicked a goal yet, which is awesome because that's the little bit. He is the mistakeless man, and he makes good decisions and he executes those decisions.
He's just cool as a cucumber, doesn't get flustered.
But the way he sort of plays as well, and this is a bit pathetic, but is like I can see how don't look at the cow. Just close your eyes. I've actually got my hands on my face here because I'm having a real moment, a real personal moment. And you're not taking me seriously. Move. Come on. Sparrow, snap back into it.
Deep breaths.
What do you think about Connor Iden?
Fucking hell. Yeah, I love him. And I know you love him.
I do. I just want to be him. I understand how he plays. I could see myself. If I was awesome, that's how I'd play. No, I wouldn't. That's it. He goes to the hard balls and plays the back line. I played in the back line and never went to the hard balls. But it is so clear his decision making. I love it.
Yeah, no, he's a very solid player in our back lines. The Geelong Falcon product. But
there we are. Get on board.
No. Okay, I'm not going to do that.
So, do we have any inner sanctum chat? Is there any voice messages to throw in here?
Feels from this, there is. It was a bit of a roller coaster. Needs, have you got it up?
Yeah, I have. And actually, I mean,
I think Bubs was.
Everyone's talking
death riding us.
Yeah. No. We don't. No one wants a home final. We're all good to play away. It was basically the feel. That was amazing. Really good football. Bedford's a disgrace. Let's giddy up.
Yeah.
Now Michael throwing in a few sort of grenades from London. But otherwise, it's business. Was it BAU, business as usual? Everyone, we're all on board. We are ready. From 3 goals, was it 3 games 10? No, it wasn't. 3 games 7.
3-7, yeah. 10 games.
Far out.
Mate, I remember having a chat with you boys when I was on holiday. I think we played St Kilda or we were coming up against them. And it was just like, fuck me dead. Because I think we lost to them in that, first round. And it was like, fuck, is this the season? Is this really what we're doing?
Yeah. Is this what I like to support a mediocre team?
Yeah. And then
just to run of the mill, make up the numbers. Well, actually, here we go then. Before we turn our head to the finals and we leave, that was round 23. Rags, you want to summarise? What was your take on home and away season 2023, apart from triumph?
Well, like I said at the start of the year and throughout the early parts of the year, the main concern I had was getting games into the younger fellas. And you look at our players now. So O'Halloran, well, let's start with the players under 50 games. So Jack Riccardi's now up to 47 games. Xavier Halloran's up to 45. Jack Buckley's up to 40. Toby Bedford's 34. Callum Brown's 26. Kieran Briggs 23. Finn Callahan 23. Ryan Angwood 16. Cadman 12. And then you've got all the fellas playing in the VFL, but once we worked out the game plan and there was full buy-in from the players to what the coaches were telling them, it just all came together. And I mean, it's such a completely different game style to what we played under Leon Cameron, and I think it's going to bring a lot more supporters through the gates, hopefully, because of the exciting way we play. And I'm just stoked that it's got us this far, and who knows, like we might get bundled out in the first week of the finals, we might win the first final. I'm pretty sure if we win the first final, we play the loser out of Brisbane and Port, either in Brisbane or in Port Adelaide. So it's going to be
yes, that's
correct. Got a nice little. I'm always chasing the narrative. To win against Saints, and then I predict Brisbane will win. So we'll be going over to Port for the revenge clash after they absolutely towed us up. That's got some nice synergy about it. Where we win in Port after getting smashed, and then what we would play. Are we then GF? No, we got one more and then the GF.
We play the winner of Melbourne and Collingwood at the MCG.
Oh, fuck me. It's not easy getting to the GF, is it, when you're in the bottom?
No, it isn't. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Unless
we did it. We did it before. We did it before and we stumbled it over there and got absolutely got smashed.
Didn't cover ourselves in glory. But
I had a bit in a special segment in fourth quarter, which I'm going to rip out of that segment and insert it into second quarter game chat because I thought it actually summarized our current feels pretty well. And it's from Apocalyptic Panther, which is a fucking solid name on Reddit.
Is that the one I was looking for? Oh, that's what you were. Yeah, right. Yeah, I was looking for that. You'd actually put it in the run sheet, but you're going to read it now. Yeah, I was desperately looking for that because I thought it'd fit well.
No, it does fit well. It does fit well.
It's nice.
Okay, here it is. You could not wipe the shit-eating grin off my face right now if you tried. So fucking proud of the club. It would have been easy to concede the season and just start looking to next year after just 3 wins in the first 10 rounds, but they just never surrendered. Absolutely love the new game style, as well as the sheer fighting spirit that Kinsley and co have implemented into the team. 12 months ago, I was so down on us as a club. Now I feel the complete opposite. Keen as for the future. In Kinsley, we trust. Fucking well said. Apocalyptic Panther.
That's an excellent encapsulation of where we've been to where we are.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Third quarter.
Yeah. Well played, Apocalyptic Panther. Third quarter. Where we're going. And where we're going is the MCG at 3:20 p.m. on the 9th of September. It's just a cartoon cow, Sparrow.
Talkie.
Have a bit of maturity and deal with it.
In time with what you're saying. Really works well for a podcast.
September.
Hey,
3:20 p.m. And when I say where we're going, I mean where's my family going? Where are the Needles going? Because we're going to the game. Because I've had this MCG membership for MCC membership for, I don't know, it was signed up in 1998. I think it became provisional in knows when. I've been paying shit tons of money every year to never use it. I might have used it 3 times, once to see a Hawthorn game. And suddenly, here we go. And you can get 4 people in on your provisional membership. And
what's
it's
your family
only just
size?
turned provisional last year. So I'm taking the whole of the all the needlings, and we are rolling up everyone in orange into the members. We're going to make a scene. Huge.
You're going to go to the Cooper's pub beforehand, the Giants pub down there?
No, I booked the long room. I booked a few tickets in the long room and in the members' dining room.
Oh, of course. You don't want to mix with the fans.
Yeah, $80 should be right. I think I got work some overtime, so hopefully that should be fine. We'll share it between all of us.
Hey, that's a good sponsor plug. Cooper's the Cooper's Arms, whatever it is. Cooper's Pub, Melbourne.
Where is it? Put it in the thing because we can go. I mean,
it's good.
It's good. One, she's 5. She loves that. She loves a pub.
They had a Giants beer when we were down there.
You had a photo of her having a beer in her hand recently.
You know how weird it is hearing you talk about an $80 steak coming from a cow?
Right. Yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah, I'll have the chicken. Just the chicken, please. Chicken and rice. But yeah, St Kilda on the 9th of September at the MCG. I thought they were going to play it at
Fucking good
Marvel.
time too. 3:20.
It's a wonderful time. We'll bomb it down from Canberra. We'll be able to be there for sort of 1. Gates open 1.
What time you got to leave Canberra?
6, 6:30.
Oh.
Coffee at Gundagai. Breakfast at Yass.
Yep.
Don't have a little bit of a stop at Harden for the submarine. Bomb past Glenrowan, wave at Ned Kelly, and then whooshka.
Nice.
Into Melbourne. MCG. Yep. Staying at Chapel Street.
Huge.
With everyone in the same room. So there's not going to be a lot of Needles romance that evening. If we win, it's just going to be everyone, you just shut up, you little bastards. You go to sleep.
Spooning each other.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good day. That's cool, I think.
That'll be awesome, mate. Represent us well. I was close to booking flights, but a few commitments mean I can't get down there. And Rags, you were looking at it too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was looking at coming over, and I seen flights, and they're about $600 from Hobart return, and I just can't justify that. That's like a new driver for me. So
save it for the preliminary final against Collingwood or Melbourne.
True.
I will give 2 people on my members ticket. I'll come down again, and we'll all go. 14 days after the 9th.
Couple of question marks you got there.
23rd. So if we make the prelim, we're all going.
Yep.
It's 2 sold.
Against this, and that's the if, obviously. There's a few, and the first if is, do we beat the Saints? The Saints can't score, but they can stop goals. We can stop goals too, but can score.
I really like our chances against the Saints. I do think we win this game. Let's jumping ahead to our predictions, but yeah, I mean, I am a bit concerned if we lose Bedford. But like you said, if X comes in and does 80% of what Bedford does, we're looking pretty right. But and also there's big question marks obviously on Sammy Taylor and Ben Callahan still.
Old mate O'Halloran's last game, I think that was against Melbourne, and he was enormous in Adelaide. In Alice Springs.
No, it wasn't that game. It was when he got taken out by Hogan at the Beanstalk first 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, take it back.
That was I was at that game on that side. Hawthorn. Yeah.
Was he really good at Alice Springs though?
He was.
That would help my narrative. Okay, great.
Question mark on him. Question mark on Finn Callahan still, obviously.
You've highlighted Jack Steele as a Saints player. Oh, I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. My only problem with the Saints is that my mum, Dr. Needles, is a very, 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 very strong, long-suffering, never let us forget how long-suffering she is and how it's all our fault for not going for the Saints and the Saints not winning. It's the Potter. And so the Giants winning is an excellent outcome, except for one really big bit where it's not a good outcome.
Well,
and it's going to be tough on the WhatsApp, let me tell you. On the family WhatsApp, there'll be invective.
Maybe the Saints only lose because your mum goes for them. Maybe she needs to change teams.
What I'm going to say, Rags, is I'm going to introduce you to her and you tell her that, and I'll be in the bunker with the bright anti-nuclear weapon sunglasses on.
Her opinions are welcome on the pod.
The Saints have, a few good players we should worry about. Jack Sinclair absolutely tore us to pieces last time.
He did.
And I'm pretty sure he'll be in the All-Australian team come whenever that's announced. Jack Steele, he's sort of just plodding along at the moment. There's been talk he's been under injury.
This year hasn't been last year.
Yeah. He's been definitely injured. He played well against us last time, along with Sinclair. All the ex-Giants tend to, but
they've obviously got big Maxi King up front, and without Sam Taylor, it's going to be a bit of a handful. And then Cal Wilkie, he's another player who plays across their half-back line, who is also in the All-Australian squad. So he's had another very strong year. And then I've got a bit of a matchup that I think is going to be pivotal for the game is the big ruckman, Marshall versus Bredzi.
You got it there. You do. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Next line.
Just under where you're typing. Just one line
so,
under.
Bradsey had the most clearances for us last week.
Is that right?
Yeah. He had nine clearances more than anyone else on the ground.
De Koning played pretty well. There are a couple of occasions. De Koning looks like a sort of a thin piece of pelican shit, but he must be pretty muscly, him and his brother, because he threw Bradsey around once or twice. You go, oh shit, that wouldn't be easy. And he's a mobile dude. They keep talking about how he's. Well, but like the rest of the team, he came back. He came back really hard in the second and third quarter.
Yeah, I'm still mad at the Konings because the De Koning, who plays for Geelong, pretty much handed Bulldogs the game last weekend.
Did he? Was he?
Yeah, right.
He was horrendous. Another player that I really like from St Kilda, he's only a young fella, but Wanganeen Malera, he is an absolute.
Imagine growing up with that name as a
smooth
junior,
mover.
Just everyone looking at you. What's your name? Wanganeen Malera. Like Wanganeen and Malera. Yeah, but like together. Yeah.
Is that his?
Do you play footy? yeah, a bit.
I'm pretty
a little bit.
Is this his first season, Malera? Or second?
No, I reckon it's his second year.
Yeah, right. well done, Needs. Okay, yeah. So they got a few good players. I mean, I always look at them and go, I'm always surprised that they win St Kilda, honestly. I just put them in the same camp as Essendon. I say this every time we play one of those two, but I just do not rate them. I don't know how the fuck we don't belt them, but that could come back to bite me.
Oh, no. Sorry, just for the record, Ragnar's right. Geez, that's 4. Fucking, it's been a bad night in my life in terms of being wrong.
That's what happens when you be a cow.
Yeah. So predictions then. I don't care because I'm going to be there, and so I don't have to worry about the thing because the Moz isn't on me when I'm there at the game. I can't do anything about it, and hopefully I'll be for Giants beers. Oh, do you know, last couple of weeks I had Giants jerky? I told you about that. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I think we should win.
But you don't care.
So what's prediction? What prediction?
4
Just
goals.
That. Okay. Sparrow, what are you?
We're going to towel them up, and I really like how we're finishing games. So I think it'll be tight up until midway through the third, and we come over the top of them.
I reckon it's going to be 76 apiece at full time, and it's going to go into extra time.
Needless precision.
And we're going to win.
That must be paying well, mate.
I'll have to look it up.
I love how we're finishing off. Fuck, we're just coming home with a full sail. So I think we get the job done, and then exciting times over in probably Port Adelaide. But let's look this week. MCG.
Focus. One game at a time.
Sorry.
One pot at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a wrap for the third quarter. You beauty. Oh, look, fellas, I'll give you the report. Right. Don't worry about, what I'll give you some at the game impressions. It'll be fine. They'll be live. They'll be obviously mature and sophisticated coming from
of course.
The long room. But yeah. Might be 4 hours of content. I'll send it through.
Get the
little to edit down.
Little Needles on, or Mrs. Needles.
Yeah. The whole bit.
Opinions are welcome. Hey, your cousin that you said he's going to send in his reactions from being at the game isn't by any chance Rags on Twitter, a computational linguist that goes for the GWS Giants. That's not your cousin?
That would surprise me. That would surprise me because I do not think that's what he did at university.
Okay, because he said he was sending in a voice memo with his reactions, voice clip from the game. So
Jesus.
But haven't got
put them both in, and if they're the same, then yes. And I know something more about my cousin, which is taking me by surprise. Anyway, fourth quarter. All right, we've got a new segment, ladies and gentlemen, pretty special. It's Maths with Rags.
3.14159265358979. The saga of Ragnar Lothbrok.
Mathematics.
6264 338327.
G'day.
G'day, kids. Let's get
So
your
I thought-
HB and a razor out.
I thought I'd have a bit of a look at our away form and our home games, and it's a little bit of fixturing and how harshly dealt we are with the fixturing versus the Melbourne teams. And so I've compared us to St Kilda because that's obviously who we're playing this week. So the Saints have played.
Topical.
How many games do you think Saints have played at Marvel this year?
Just let me get my abacus.
Yeah, I'm going to use a slide rule. My father, he swears by a slide rule. Reckons you do it quicker than a calculation. 12.
I won't guess. I'll forget the question.
The Saints have played 14 games at Marvel this year.
Fucking
that's quite good. That's
with a 9-5 record.
2
and
makes
they've also
makes no difference. Yeah, right.
They've also played 2 games at the MCG. All right, so they've played 16 games in Melbourne and 7 outside of Melbourne.
Fucking hell.
The Giants. You strap yourself in for this one.
Strapping.
Buckle up, buttercups.
So the Giants have played 8 games at Giants Stadium, 3 games in Canberra.
11. That's 11.
Yep,
and then we've also. So this is not my.
We've also played 1 at SCG. So we've played 9 games in Sydney, 3 games in Canberra, 3 games in Adelaide, 2 games in Melbourne, 1 game in Tassie, 1 game in Ballarat, 1 game in Alice Springs, 1 game in Perth, 1 game in Geelong, and 1 game in Hobart.
That's an army road train, brother. It's done some Ks.
Jesus Christ.
That is
we've played 9 games in Sydney and 14 games outside of Sydney. That's pretty crazy.
That is yeah, I would say a fairly strong disadvantage to us. You know what it does, but Rags? It builds resilience. It builds camaraderie. It builds something that the Saints don't have.
Says the podcaster who's going to leave the podcast and move to Bhutan if Bedford goes down.
Exactly.
But so the St Kilda's played 2 games at the MCG. This is obviously where the game this weekend is being held. They've won 1, lost 1.
I'm aware. Did I tell you about my ticket?
We've played 1 game at the MCG and we got absolutely spanked against Collingwood. But that was early in the year. That was before Taylor's prophecy.
Yep. The Renaissance
took effect.
Well, no, that was part of Taylor's prophecy. We'll lose the first 10 and then come home like
it was part of
Farlap.
I can still visualize that exact interview that you're talking about. He was he was being interviewed on the ground, or he was being
at Monica.
Yeah, somewhere, and he was talking to a female commentator.
Thank you. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I'm not going mad. Thank you. It exists. Female interviewer, if you are out there listening to this podcast,
gaslight.
send us the footage.
So what do we got here about this possible competition announcement?
Well, before we do, this is like any other business plan at all costs, but can I just say from a personal perspective how grateful I am for you guys sending photos of your work environments today. That's been wonderful. To get the WhatsApp of a Tasmanian golf course at 5:30 a.m. was gorgeous, and then the moonlight over Parramatta River this evening from you, Sparrow, was lovely. I was going to send a photo of my workstation and computer, but it was all top secret and you guys can't see it. But it was amazing what I was looking at.
No, it was a pretty nice moon tonight on the run.
It was a nice moon. There's a super blue moon coming at some point as well that we all need to be aware of.
Yeah. So
that's just one for the astronomy freaks.
I'm just going to skip over that for a sec, Rags. I do have a segment of my own to launch into, which has already been touched on. But can you hear that noise?
Sparrow.
That's right, fellas.
Vaguely.
Yeah, that's right. It is Sparrows SOS. and I did retrofit the name of this segment so I could use SOS, but it is Sparrow's Social Opinions segment. And I just thought there's a lot going on these days. Like, no longer is it just Ragnar Lothbrock emailing us on an email address that gets checked every once a month. We're getting bombarded with opinions. So I thought, why not bring them into the pod and insert a few, because they're pretty good.
And bombard Ragnar instead, so he will see what it feels like.
Exactly. So I just had a couple of quick ones. Nathan on Twitter, he was pretty happy. He got on the Giants to make the finals when they were paying $21 back in June. So he was pretty happy with that. Well done, Nathan. I've already done Apocalyptic Panther on Reddit. I'll put it out there on Twitter just about Hopper and Toronto. There was Damien Barrett saying they would be pretty dirty that they got sold, Damien Hardwick sold the vision to them. How are they feeling now after a season and he's gone? And I basically put it to the Richmond fans and our guys as well. What are our feels after a season? And a bit of a mixed response. A lot of people thought that Toronto has had a pretty good season, and a lot of talk of Hopper's such a great bloke, and I think that's the general vibe.
He's a Riverina boy like me, and so I won't hear a word against him. Combine Harvester, Colin Gully, him and Petrol.
Geez, you've changed your tune.
Us Riverina boys are the best.
And there was a good one on YouTube from Tom Kenobi, who is a thrash metal producer, and he was pretty happy with the Toby Green video, and also the other one, Jesse Hogan. He said Toby Green equals passion shown through courage personified. And on the
it's quite strong brackets work.
Yeah, it's
brackets in brackets with an equal sign. It's
good. And he said about the Jesse one, another one, this is gold. So thank you, Tom Kenobi. We see you. Keep them coming. Keep the comments coming. We love it.
And if you want to do a metal cover of the Toby Green song, go your hardest. Imagine a metal cover of Hallelujah to Toby Green. That would be epic.
That's a good segue.
But the sign off though is if you have an SOS, you just send it into Sparrow.
Yeah. Where can they reach you, Sparrow?
Oh, where can't they reach us, mate? We're everywhere these days. Twitter,
Never Surrender Pod,
Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. Facebook's going well. YouTube. We've just had another comment actually right now on Jesse Hogan's video.
Well, this is live. This is live reading the internet on a podcast. This is so meta. It's the Robberos, the snake eating his tail.
Oh, okay. He's saying he carries this team, but you can't say he got you into the finals. But I do love him. So that's from V. Thank you, V. So keep them coming, guys. And I think that was a good silky segue into.
We've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds for you to say there's one more competition that we're signing off and getting ready for our next interview next week with the One-Eyed Giant.
Yeah, no, let's not do the competition now.
No competition.
No.
Okay. We'll just move straight to. We might have a special guest next week.
Yeah, what's the last point you got there, Rags?
What about
GWS
Ragnar chat podcast future seek it feels a little bit like admin and not podcast, but maybe there's some great banter to come out of it.
Anyway, what do we got? 2 minutes. I don't know what that is.
So the footy fields obviously might be wrapping up. The Giants' main podcast coming from the GWS Giants. Who would actually take over from Phil Davis? Because they're obviously going to move on from Filthy Phil because he's retiring. Who do you reckon's a chance to take over from there?
Yeah,
I put down Seek as in Iden Seek.
I love it. Yeah, I love that.
Yes, yeah. No,
Lucky Keith.
Lucky Keith, solid.
Yeah. No, he's good, Lucky Keith. I actually thought of someone. Kenners. I think Kenners has got a.
Why don't you put up a vote? Actually, they'll have to know. The Giants will want to know who's their best. Put up a vote.
All right, we'll do a vote.
Oh yeah, on Twitter.
So we can
do it over 2 weeks.
Are you saying
so everyone can nominate, and the most amount of nominations or most amount of likes, the top three, and then we'll all vote on the top three.
and I'll send it through to Zelly.
Sparrow's laughing at the cow head again.
No, I'm laughing at how that actually comes together. But keep your eyes peeled.
Let's say we'll do a vote. Sparrow, can you do a vote, please?
Probably a poll on Twitter. Anyway, less than a minute, never surrender.
It's been a big night. No. Remember, I go first, then you pause for 15 seconds.
I can hurry up.
Then you go.
Hurry up, cowhead.
Mate, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, everyone. Never surrender.
Never surrender.
Never surrender.
There was an arc. I was actually looking at our most popular pod, and it was Leon out, which is basically people only listen to you when there's a complete disaster. It's pretty funny when there's a complete disaster.
That's the thing.
Or you're going really well. So the grand final week we got good numbers, and Leon out, massive numbers, and we did a whole pod where you weren't recording. We had to do it again. Oh, fucking!
I remember the Leon out pod. I might have written in for that. I'm not sure, but I was paving outside my parents.
It was after you offered to do us the sting.
Yeah, right.
I got back on top of the game. Next hardest working player, maybe Caniglio. And Caniglio said birds of him.
Stephen Caniglio for another.
Fourth quarter.
Ragnar's numbers. What does this mean?
This is a new segment.
Who are you taking and what are your numbers?
Don't we have a sting for this now? Is there there's no sting for Ragnar's numbers. So I've had a bit of a look, and
there will be.
I've gone along the theme of our away form. So our away games. So
this is maths.
Yeah, Ragnar's maths.
Maths and stats.
Not numbers. Can we start that again? Let's start this again. Fourth quarter.